Alright, let's see if it'll work now. Let's see if it'll work now. Let's see if it'll work now. Well, that seems to be working. Right. Okay. So, we're going to just jump straight back into it because we were in the middle of a game of chess. So, hopefully... Oh, right. Okay. So, I think it stopped at... So we were kind of talking about why we were pushing through Kay's arrest, and then Excelsius kind of chipped up saying coming along nicely, as if he wanted the arrest to happen, and we kind of left off. We can't. How much time did you spend investigating altogether? How much time was spent on your investigation? Well, let's see now. You know what? I'm not sure I can remember. And you know what? I'm sure you can. You won't bluster your way out of this one. Some bluster, my boy? I honestly don't recall. It's a problem when you get to my age, you see. I even forget my own son's name sometimes. Never mind your fool of a son, answer me. How long did you spend on the investigation? You're right, of course. The boy's a fool. I never meant for him to grow up like that, but... oh, woe is me. He's only too happy to derail the conversation no matter where I take it. I have to force him to take this seriously. Let's try another tack for now. You can hardly say investigation was sufficient. You're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested. I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy. You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You wound me. But it is enough to drive an old man to tears. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not the differential type. Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutors back again anytime soon. Nothing more to say? Wonderful, then I'll be on my way. It seems the silent treatment won't work every time. I don't need that badge anyway. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge? What's a badge? That badge isn't the be-all, end-all for me, far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles, even you must understand that much. So young, so very young. A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around a block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy, idiotically so! Well, that certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. You really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know. What a coincidence. So does mine. Now answer the question, do you believe the true investigation was sufficient or not? Ah, the youth these days aren't want to be reckless. I want to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter, scared? Hardly, I was just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. You can get quite emotional after all. You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand your fate rests in my hands? I got you now, you're back. Oh, for fuck's sake. Let me try another angle. Oh, yes. Fuck. Really? Really? Ah, you bugger! Fuck you! Game! Bide my time. And then bide my time again! So you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them. Why not give it up, dear boy? No. But why not? It's simple, because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. What I'm doing is pointless. Tragically. And miserably pointless. Please just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt has already been determined from before her arrest. What are you trying to imply? I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? That's an intriguing theory. But it's almost complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you? No, he's trying to make his escape. He must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. We're going into hyper mode. It's faint, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. And I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of all this talking. So be brief, will you? Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded. Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now, but I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to deter her release anyhow. How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law? My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my shoes are so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on any last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite a busy man. Are you just pretending to be busy, That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what good I even know whom to accomplish by putting on such a pretense? You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? It's just so tragic to me, it is. That you would suspect me of such things. It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There are no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There's plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, these are all in her possession. And, of course, a confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away. Well, there we have it. Your son speaks volumes. It's true I can't counter your argument right now. But you did let something valuable slip, a suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. He rounded off that list like he knew it inside out. I think that might prove to be a valuable clue. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested? You know, I can't seem to remember. I don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. The weeks have become my memory. Time to employ my clue. I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps your film memory didn't fail you only when it was convenient. I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest? Yes, well, I'll give you that. I soon could learn a thing or two from you. He wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. Oh. It's tragedy, really. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest. You're very mean, don't you? Nom 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 nom. Delicious. The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by... Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you. All right, you got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold, so yes, I'd better clear this up, this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can't put your mind at ease. A key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. Okay. Was it like a news outlet or something? Because news outlets can sometimes get into like war areas, if that makes sense. Oh, my eyes. I just have to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand. We're but a few moments away from the truth. A suspect Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know she's a suspect. Aside from that, not much else. Cross my heart, but it's true. I don't have a clue as to how to receive this line of questioning. Let me try another tech for now. You seem to know the case in quite some detail. I know about lots of things, my boy. You're just smart like that. About the same can be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest. Why so quiet all of a sudden? I've got you. Fuck. Why do I always do that? Bide my time. I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can bring this a little.
I was watching news.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a news outlet, then like anything could happen, really. I've seen it before. Like BBC, for example, they can get into what was it? Iran, I think it was. I think it was Israel. I think, if I remember, well, they've been to many war-torn places, to be fair, but yeah. It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. It wasn't throwing use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. I have to be a good role model. I can't be seen to be lagging. It's gonna be so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you're a very busy man.
A legal country doing its best to lie and doing war crime.
I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? You're so keen on being an upstanding leader. You can start by releasing Kay, you know. You really don't give up, do you? It's a growing sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too. After all, your efforts are for naught. Our faithful friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. We have yet to hear about much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct? That's right, although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case.
Run war crime as fast as possible.
Again, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, there's something in my eye. There's something in my eye! Okay, this could be a valuable clue. A suspect Kay Faraday. How much do you know about her exactly? I know she's suspect because my time to deploy my clue. sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know, dear Tess, that even those investigating the scene would be aware of. Is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winner? Oh, there's that intimidating face you'd like to make again? Well, to play this game. How do you like me now, hmm? I've got you. Okay, so let's try biding my time.
Hungry.
Hungry! Feed me! I'm actually quite hungry myself, and I'm not long eaten. I do commend you on your doggedness. It really is something. I'll take that as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence? The orders to load her down with, for goodness sake. Load her down with? Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One makes it sound like a lot of items the Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. Impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer to your own question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I'll hear it from you. It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All that's left is to play one last move. Kay is innocent. No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she would take the fall instead. That is my answer. I won't let you deny it any longer. That was close. He almost burnt his beard off.
This case is all about not fair.
My, you really are a sharp one. A bit of a shame you chose to hand in your badge. I admit it, you're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate! Number 22! Chess reference. My chess. Checkmate. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it.
So we got sneak peek of the breakdown. It will burn the kid.
Well... again, that's if he is the actual culprit. And Kay is Kay. We all know it. I think we know it's Kay by now. Kay is definitely Kay. There you go with that naivety again, my boy. Guess that was always your problem. With the girl arrested and the conviction secured, this whole mess goes away.
It's not Kay.
And that's what will happen. But whose interests does a conclusion like that serve? Committee's, I suppose. And mine. You know, listen to you just now. Well, it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. It was poignant and heartfelt and sincere. And utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that. But your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it, little by little. Kay Faraday, murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created. Yes, my boy, that's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes, it's painful. I just want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. But why not go after the real killer? How much do we even know about what really happened? Still not getting it. That's your truth. It is worthless. Mine is all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. X, prosecutor? I have all the power here. Okay, I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me. Don't hurt me, man. Sorry, okay? We friends, we cool. Curse you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this! My side seems to be doing alright. With that hit, another person disappears from my life. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. Bastard! I'm not planning to disappear just yet, Chairman Winner. There's still a hearing later today, just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then. No, okay. I was kind of hoping there'd be kind of people that we knew, but no. Apart from Excelsius Winner and Judge Grail. 10 members, over a majority opponent. I hereby call this hearing to order. Well, gathered here today to assist the professional competency of Prosecutor Mars Edgeworth. Here in the sight of Goddess, we do solemnly swear to pass fair and frank judgment. Fair and frank? Don't make me laugh. Verity, if you'd be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth. On April 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winner. His actions compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney, and despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist. The suspect, one K. Faraday, is innocent of all charges. Perhaps you could explain the details of the murder to us as well. Of course. On the morning of the 5th, the body of the victim was found here in a committee chamber. Further explanation will be provided by me, Eustace Winner, Premier Prosecutor. The floor is yours, Mr. Winner. The murder itself happened late on the night of the 4th. The victim was Miss Rosie Ringer. That same night... Yep, you're back. We've got you. You're back, testing well. That same night, Mr. Austin was being held here in this very room. Ringer took part in that auction, I think. Yeah. Meaning that the murder took place sometime during the auction. When she was found, Ringer was dressed in an outfit that matched the description of the auctioneers. However, due to the fact that the auction carried on after the murder had occurred, I deduced that Ringer was not in fact the auctioneer. You deduce nothing of the sort. Me, on the other hand, well... What about the basis on which the suspect was detained, Mr. Winner? Yeah, I got this. So, Faraday was overcome by... crushing remorse, Eustace? Yeah, that. Tons of crushing remorse. So she confessed. According to her confession, she was on the roof of this building when she encountered a person in red raincoat on the viewing platform. And that person was Miss Ringer, I take it? Precisely, Mr. Chairman. The killer dressed the victim in the auctioneer's outfit after the fact. But at the time when she was killed, Miss Ringer was wearing a red raincoat. And who won the race to find that raincoat nearby? Me, that's who. Did you? I thought it was somebody from forensics. Strictly speaking, it was found by one of the forensic investigators under Mr. Winner's command. I knew it. The blood analysis on the coat showed that it was indeed Miss Ringer who had worn it, and the suspect's confession was the final nail in the coffin. She confirmed having committed the murder. So as you can see, Miss K. Faraday was the killer. There's no way anybody else could have done it. All right, Mars, I expect you have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we? I have no objections, Chairman Winner. Well, how is that so? Thought it would have taken... No objections to the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. The amount of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt I have plenty. I could personally assess the fact that Mr. Winner's investigation was fair and impartial. Of course it was! And when it goes to carefully conducted ops, I'm the winner every time. You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal, Swat. If, and this is purely hypothetical, of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow to find yourself a proud owner of a seat on this committee. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth? Being by my silence, think again. You will watch your mouth. Only if the chairman watches his. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on this incident is. You want to put on trial, my boy? Very well, if it'll make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case. Really? But sir... This will be his last hurrah. Let's humour him with the send-off he desires. If you say so, Mr. Chairman. You have no objections to Verity representing the committee, I assume? None whatsoever. Mr. Edgeworth! Don't worry, Kay. Everything will be fine, also. Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale, so our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase, and the only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof. After she'd emerged into the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday. Shortly thereafter, her flame went out, and thus concludes the committee's view of the case. The raincoat was on offer that night, is that really true? We believe so, yes. You remember the failed assassination attempt on the president of Zheng Far, I assume? The raincoat is a piece of evidence from that case. It should, of course, have remained safely under lock and key in the appropriate facility. But our inquiries revealed that it did, in fact, go missing under mysterious circumstances, and wound up in the auction along with everything else. Makes sense, I suppose? Wonderful work, Verity, just wonderful. Crystal clear as ever. You flatter me, sir. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, perhaps you could save us all some time and simply admit defeat. I'll do no such thing, thank you very much. Very well, it's good to know that you still have some fight in you. It is? Why? Come to think of it, she did say some strange things when she visited me this morning, too. What exactly is she up to? In other words, a member of the committee was actively involved in illegal evidence trade. It is unfortunate. I don't know what else to say. And of course we'll be looking into any such activities just as soon as this hearing is over and done with. I was gonna say, she's on our team. Well, I'm hoping she is. She sounds like she's moving to our team, but... could she be double bluffing? I commend your decision to pursue the matter further, Mr. Chairman. Oh, don't be silly, Verity. It's the least we can do. Really? Not if it's any of your business, Miles. Not anymore. When you'd remain a prosecutor. Oh, but you didn't. Now, if we're quite done making an old man cry with this whole sad affair. Very well, allow me to continue. Hold it! So the raincoat really was one of the auction lots. That's correct. I believe it originally belonged to a Mr. Shelley de Killer. And considering its status as made of evidence, the only logical conclusion. So when he made his attempt on the president's life, there was an unexplained mannequin, and standing amongst the other items in the sale, could well have been used to display the coat prior to the auction. Do we know how the items are being smuggled in? That is still under investigation, and is entirely unrelated to the matter at hand. Suppose you consider that you will soon officially be a prosecutor no longer, Mr. Edgeworth. Sounds like the outcome of this hearing is a foregone conclusion. No surprises there. My personal circumstances aren't important right now. Please continue, Your Honor. As I was saying, the raincoat was one of the items up for sale.
Hold it!
Why did she leave so soon after making her purchase? Because of the auction house rules. Winning bidders are expected to pay for their items immediately. Miss Hart told us pretty much the same thing. Miss Ringer, having paid for the raincoat, probably left immediately afterwards in accordance with the rules.
Hold it!
Miss Ringer was a member of the committee. Could she not have left the committee chamber via the main door? While the auction was still underway? It was just exposing its existence to those outside the trusted circle of attendees. Given that Miss Hart found out about it, I think its existence is already well and exposed. Well and truly exposed. The rules of the auction stated the attendees were to enter and leave via the hatch of the group. Miss Ringer had no reason not to follow those rules, and given where the murder took place, we know that she must have done so.
Hold it!
But why? What possible motive could Kay have had? That is exactly what we are hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews on this Friday. Coercive interrogation after the fact, something you seem to specialize in. If the murderer knew the attendees would all be leaving via the hatch, then the roof would have been a perfect place to lie in wait. So, as I was saying, after she'd emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked. Shortly after their flame went out, her flame went out, the flame of her life was treacherous. Though perhaps her flame was stolen from her as more.
Objection!
But the candelabrum was extinguished. That extinguished the life was one of the auction lots, meaning Kay had no way of getting a hold of it to begin with. Miss Faraday could not have lain in wait for the victim without knowing of the storeroom's existence. She'd easily stuck down the ladder and stolen it while the auction was underway. Well, we knew where the candle holder was during the auction. Surely clear the matter up now. Hey, either of you? Sadly, we don't have anything that could tell us much on that front at the moment. Forgive me, sir. This is something we are having to establish for a few further investigation. Well, isn't it a shame, as my boy sees the siren cries and I'm dead in then, isn't it? So the theories of the victim and the killer met on the roof, and that's where the murder took place. In other words, it's assumed the viewing platform was the scene of the crime. Is it really the case? I thought evidence clearly shows the story of what happened that night. Time to double check.
Objection!
So that, or the pool of blood outside of the, well, just front of the thing. And perhaps you could refrain from insinuating otherwise. Well, that blew up in my face. So it's got to be this.
Objection!
No? No? Huh.
Objection!
No? Silence. Such statements will not be tolerated by this court. And why not? What precisely is wrong with my statement? One thing, the fact that you clearly do not believe it yourself. Ugh. Was it that obvious? I have to be more careful next time.
Objection!
How? Hang on. I actually don't know. Right, hang on a minute.
5 statement.
Yeah, that's
What a hard bit.
this one. Why would it be this one, though?
Objection!
What? How? Why? That makes no sense! Okay. Right, okay, maybe you can clear up... What do you mean, the hand? Oh, bloodied hand. Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Greer. What is Miss Hart doing here at this hearing? She is an eyewitness. Thought it would be obvious. Well, now, I ain't really an eyewitness, more an ear witness, I guess. She's not exactly the most confidence-inspiring choice to help you make your case, is she? I like to think I chose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. You should question them more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo taken by Miss Hart. Yes, in the storeroom, correct? What of it? According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof, but according to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom, just before you took this picture. Wait, you're saying Gavail got it... Wrong, that's exactly what I'm saying. What? Oh dear. Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events you witnessed that night. You saw the prison in the picture, correct? I sure did, clear as day, and with my own 2 eyes to boot. And what were your impressions at that point? My impressions? Well, this right here is a couple of centuries, somebody. Yeah, that makes sense. I was hoping more of your impressions of the person in question. Oh, that there's walking meal ticket. Seriously? Just my little joke. No need to look at me like what doesn't sound your lunch. All red, Karenko, right? Well, I took one look and I thought, that's our perp right there. And therein lies the rub. For Miss Hart to have thought of such a thing. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? It's an explanation of facts that you require. You will only need to ask, you know. What do you mean? I assume you're on about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated.
Objection!
Unrelated? You can do better than that. Or was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Ringer's? You're kidding me, right? Them folks are talking crime-related turkey or my name ain't Lotta danged Hart. Ah, but did you hear them clearly? Well, can't rightly say for sure, but I can't rightly say nothing. You know it. They was using voice changes. Done told you all that. Precisely. Miss Hart heard voices, but those voices were disguised. I was going to say, this case is shorter than quite a few of the more recent ones. Which means we cannot even be certain that whatever she did over here had anything to do with murder. You don't need to yell objection in order to sigh at me, Mr. Edgeworth. It seems I overestimated you, Judge Cavale. Nonsense, Verity's the best of us, my boy, the very best. and yet she believes that what Miss Hart heard might not have anything to do with the murder. Even supposing that that's the case, it doesn't prove the murder didn't happen in the storeroom. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up on the roof. That much we can say for certain. And I can tell you why. This proves the incident happened before the victim went up on the roof. Oh, I was gonna save, but it turns out we can't. So it doesn't matter. We actually thought that the person in the red raincoat was the culprit. Yes, because Miss Hart said as much. Indeed. She told us about the blood she saw on this person's hand, and that not many people would have thought differently given her testimony. Ergo, this person is the killer, and what we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing what we know now, this person is in fact the victim, and recontextualizes everything. The presence of the blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack, but now it tells us something very important about the victim too. It tells us the victim survived the attack. There's no doubt in my mind the victim was attacked in the storeroom. But here we have a photographic evidence of her standing upright and alive, albeit with a bloody hand. This could only mean that Miss Ringer survived the attack. The blood on her hand is from the wound she had sustained. What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound? The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winter. I imagine she used her hand to try and store the wound. That's right. While it's impossible to tell from this angle, the victim is already mortally wounded here. Oh, well, that certainly would change things, wouldn't it? It very much would, not least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Our encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken, after the victim had already been attacked and was critical condition. I put it to you that all Kay witnessed was the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. And I think that's a good place to save up for today. But if you guys did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help. Click the bell icon down below to be notified when I live stream or upload a video. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!